It's Tuesday, and we are going to continue reading Homer Price. This is the last chapter. It is chapter 6, Wheels of Progress. Don't forget, listen for the secret code letter, word, number of the day. And then on Thursday, you'll be able to enter the secret code and try to get some extra credit. If you haven't watched yesterday's, go back and watch yesterday's, get the secret code, and we'll go from there. We are almost done with this. I should have this done by Thursday. But just remember, quick recap yesterday. Remember you had Michael Murphy, the musical mousetrap machine, and he was collecting all the mice, and all the kids were following. And then at the very end, he had to pay a $30 fine for not having the right license on his car. All the kids kept following, and the librarian and everybody else was freaking out because the kids weren't coming back. They thought it was like the Pied Piper, and so they ran up. They drove up next to him, gave him $30 back, and then all the kids pulled cotton out of the ears because they were trying not to get kind of trapped by the music. So, Wheels of Progress. "I can't go fishing today, Freddie," said Homer, "because I'm helping Uncle Ulysses down in the lunchroom. Seems as though the fish ought to be biting on a day like this. Do you think your Uncle Ulysses could use an extra helper today, Homer? Because it is an imperative that I have to go fishing. I just thought if you weren't busy." "Gosh, Freddie, Uncle Ulysses would like it. He always says the more help the merrier, but Aunt Aggie is a too many cooks spoil the soup sort of person, and she says she's sick and tired of seeing more people behind the counter than in front of it." "Okay, Homer," said Freddie with a sigh. "I'll see you tomorrow. Bring me a couple of donuts if you can." When Homer entered the lunchroom, there was Uncle Ulysses puttering with one of his labor-saving devices. "Hello, Homer," he said. "You're just in time to help me adjust the timing mechanism in this electric toaster. When you want the toast to come out light brown, it comes out nut brown, and vice versa." Homer and Uncle Ulysses tinkered with the toaster and then tried several pieces of toast. Then they tinkered with the mechanism some more. "How is the donut machine working these days, Uncle Ulysses?" asked Homer. "Just fine," said Uncle Ulysses. "We're selling more donuts than ever with that new recipe. I suppose you've heard about the lady who gave us the old family recipe, the lady who lost her bracelet in the batter? She lives in Centerburg now. She's Naomi Enders, a great-great-great-granddaughter of Ezekiel Enders, the first settler of Centerburg. She inherited all of the Enders property when old Luke Enders died. She owns the mill and the patent medicine company now, and is living in the big Enders homestead at the edge of town. She stops by for donuts almost every day. One of my best customers, she is." "Yep," said Homer. "The judge mentioned that she has come to live in Centerburg. He said that she was a public-spirited person and would be an addition to the town." "She appreciates good food," said Uncle Ulysses, tasting a piece of nut-brown toast. "And what's more, she has a receptive mind, receptive to new ideas and up-and-coming ideas." A car stopped out front, and Uncle Ulysses peered out and said, "Here she comes now, Homer. Better start packing 2 dozen donuts to take out." "Good afternoon," said Miss Enders. "Hello, Homer. I haven't seen you since the night my bracelet disappeared." "Hello, Miss Enders," said Homer. "How do you like living in Centerburg?" "I think it's a marvelous town. Simply marvelous," she said. "I've been thinking of what I could do to show my appreciation for the way the people of Centerburg have received me. Everyone has been so kind, simply marvelous. I've been talking to the judge, and he has informed me that there is a growing housing shortage and that people are having difficulty finding places to live. I've decided that a nice way of showing my appreciation would be to build a few homes on the family property. They could be replicas of the Enders homestead, a sort of a monument, and I could rent them reasonably to deserving families." "Mm-hmm," said Uncle Ulysses, stroking his chin. "Good idea, Miss Enders, good idea." Homer agreed, and while he counted out 2 dozen donuts, he thought the fun there would be walking rafters and joists in the new houses. Uncle Ulysses stopped stroking his chin and said, "I'll tell you, Miss Enders, it wouldn't do any harm to have more modern houses than the homestead." "Of course," said Miss Enders, "modern plumbing." Uncle Ulysses went back to stroking his chin and saying, "Mm-hmm." "And modern kitchen equipment." And Miss Enders, as though she knew that would bring an instant approval from Uncle Ulysses. "Mm-hmm," said Uncle Ulysses, and he stroked his chin from left to right. Today's secret number is 3. Finally, he cleared his throat and said, "These are changing times, Miss Enders, and we're living in an age of ideas and production genius. Now take the way they used to make donuts, for instance, each one cooked by hand, and all that time and bother. Now we have this wonderful machine, makes donuts just like that." And Uncle Ulysses, snapping his finger, snap, snap, snap. "It's marvelous," said Miss Enders, "simply marvelous." Continued Uncle Ulysses. "Now take that matter of houses, the way they used to build houses, saw up each board, hammer the nails one at a time, every little shingle and doorknob fastened on by hand. By now," said Uncle Ulysses, "went up with up and coming ideas and modern production genius, homes can be built just like this here machine makes donuts." And he made a broad sweep with his right arm. "That's the principle," pronounced Uncle Ulysses, while Miss Enders and Homer gazed in wide-eyed wonder. "That's the principle that Henry Ford applied to making autos. Yep, autos are mass-produced like donuts. Ships are built like donuts, airplanes and refrigerators, and now houses. Yes, sirree, the modern house ought to be mass-produced, just like cars or ships or planes. Yes, sirree, mass-produced, just like their machine makes donuts." And here Uncle Ulysses snapped his fingers, snap, 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 and said, "Houses, just like that, snap." He then stopped waving his arms and talking and appeared startled that he had just taught so much with such wisdom. He started stroking his chin again, while Miss Enders, quite visibly impressed, was murmuring, "It's marvelous, simply marvelous." Homer counted the 2 dozen donuts again. "Of course," said Uncle Ulysses, "it wouldn't be quite as fast or as easy as making donuts, but with assembly lines and sub-assembly lines and power presses and a touch of ingenuity, that's your recipe. You can bake a house in 24 hours flat. Snap." "Build," corrected Homer. "Simply marvelous," said the receptive Miss Enders. "Simply marvelous." All right, tune in tomorrow to see what happens with this mass-produced housing that she's wanting to do. Bye.